Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I am going to be doing a video on baby Juliet. She is pretty much brand new and this is her newborn to first month update. Juliet is currently a month old. I can't believe it. I don't know where the time has gone. So this update is going to speak about the first 4 weeks of her life that we have gone through. Obviously, it's also very personal to us. Every parent will have their own experiences and your child will also grow and develop at their own rate. Juliet's current stats are so something that we faced with Juliet pretty much straight away in the hospital was her losing weight. Now it is common for babies to lose 10% of their body weight, but the moment they start dropping below that, then the nurses and doctors start to get concerned. And the problem with Juliet was that she was 3.3 kgs when she was born, and pretty much like the next day she had lost a lot of weight and pretty much almost like 10% almost overnight. So they started to get concerned that she was losing too much weight, and obviously my milk hadn't come through yet, but their concern was that the colostrum was not enough to sustain her. So they suggested giving her formula milk in a cup. Now this is the first time I've ever experienced giving a baby milk in a cup, but I think it's a really clever idea because then it doesn't create any bottle or nipple confusion. And it also helps to maintain, because I was quite adamant that I wanted to only breastfeed her. So by giving it to her in a cup, she's not getting used to the easier sucking mechanism of a nipple, because obviously on a bottle, milk flows through much easier, but when a breastfed baby has to feed, they have to work a lot harder to get the milk out. So that was my concern. But the cup worked great. I was actually really surprised as to how a newborn baby can actually drink very slowly out of a little cup. And in that way we were monitoring that she was gaining a bit of weight. But when we left the hospital, I made a decision that I have a beautiful scale from Baby Doppler, which has been an absolute lifesaver, because in that way we were able to weigh her after every feed and track her weight to see whether she was gaining, losing, whether she was getting any milk from me. It is quite common to weigh a baby before and after a feed, so you can actually keep track of how much milk they are getting at a feed. And that's what we started to do with Juliet. When she wasn't getting enough from me, I would continue with the cup system, give her whatever she was still lacking according to her weight and the days old she was, in a cup, and she would drink that, and so she started to gain more and more weight. And in the meantime, the doctor actually prescribed a medication that helps increase a woman's milk production. So that really helped a lot, and I could already see after about 4 days that my milk was already a lot more, and it was sustaining her. So eventually, with the continued weighing of her, I could see that it wasn't even necessary to continue with the cup feeding, and now she is just exclusively on the breast. Since she has been discharged from the hospital, well, since her birth weight, she has gained 300 grams. Now this is not a hang of a lot, but she still is within the healthy range for her weight, and she is gaining steadily, so I am very happy with that. So when Juliet was about 2 days old, she started looking very yellow, and that's obviously a concern for jaundice. So the nurses then did the light test on her and showed she was borderline. They weren't 100% sure. So we had to do the blood test, which picks up the bilirubin levels in the blood. And on that test, she was also still very much borderline, but they were okay to discharge her. But if she got any more yellow, then we would have had to do another test and probably bring her back to hospital. Now obviously we didn't want to spend more time in hospital, so what we did at home was we tried to do our own light therapy, where we put her in the sun, not in direct sunlight, but sunlight coming through a window, laid her in her nappy, so pretty much naked except for the diaper, and laid her in the sun inside in front of a window. Juliet does have a bit of baby acne at the moment. It's nothing to be too concerned about, and it usually goes away on its own.
Little baby Juliet has got baby acne. You can see it on her face. Can you see it there? You look like a teenager, Juliet. Look at all your acne.
Just like most babies, she loves going for car trips. Somehow when she's in the car, she never cries, never fusses. So I know a lot of parents actually use that as a really good way to get your babies to sleep, just drive around the block. But Juliet certainly does love the car, and it's always easy taking her on trips. She has already been on a little baby vacation. She was only, I think, 5 days old, and we went away for the night, which was quite a lot of fun, and it wasn't that stressful, although I'm pretty sure a lot of parents might think I am crazy. She had her first hotel basin bath, and she was actually a very good little girl. So something we've always done with our kids is we've always traveled with them from a very young age. This is pretty much Claude and I's lifestyle. We travel a lot. So we always try to take our kids, get them used to traveling, get them used to being on the go, because it just makes it so much easier when they get older. They're able to travel, they're able to adapt to different scenarios, different hotel rooms, different time zones as well. In fact, even Gabby learned how to walk in an airport in Africa. So this is really part of our lives. A lot of people have been asking me, how have the siblings been coping with a new baby in the house? Now we have 2 toddler boys, and obviously we were very concerned that they could be jealous of this new little girl in the family.
Don't cry. Don't cry, baby. So, baby, don't worry. I'm getting sleepy.
I have to say, they love her. The novelty has not worn off yet. Now she is a month old, so they are very used to her being around, but they still absolutely adore their baby Juliet. They cannot walk past her without giving her a kiss and telling her that they love her, or stroking her head, or having a look at what she's doing. It's really, really cute, and they always want to hold her too. Now obviously we have to be super careful with this, so we allow them to lie in our bed and kind of semi-support her, but they just have to have a morning cuddle at least every day.
Do you want to hold the baby?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, lovely. Do you have her?
Yeah.
Did you give her a little kissy?
Juliet sleeps pretty well at night. She wakes up about 3 times, and then I give her a feed, and then we put her back in her beautiful Charlie crane, which we have moved right next to our bed. I love that she is still right with me, but I've decided to put her into the Charlie crane just because I'm having like a bit of concern that maybe we might roll onto her, or accidentally put our arm over her face or something. So just for safety, we are letting her sleep in a Charlie crane at night, and she's still right close enough for us to hear. So the night times haven't been too stressful. 3 times a night for me, I'm used to it with the boys. JP used to wake up at like 20 times a night. I'm not even kidding. So for her to be just 3 times, that feels pretty good. So she doesn't even cry. She just starts to fuss a little. I hear her moving around in her crib and starting to become a bit restless. So I just pick her up, feed her, and then put her back. I am currently feeding her on demand. I still feel that she's a bit young to have a very strict routine, and I also never have personally been a parent that has a lot of very strict feeding routines with my children. Being breastfed babies, I feed them as they need, but generally they do get themselves into a pattern and then we tend to follow that. As she's gotten a bit older, she is starting to be certainly more aware. She's starting to follow people's voices when she hears them, and she's also a lot more awake. Well, you wouldn't say so right now, but she definitely is having more wakeful periods during the day, although majority of the day is still sleeping. But it's nice when she does wake up, because then she's looking around, she's taking in your face. She really looks at you quite intently, which is quite special. You feel like she's really taking you in. So at 1 month old, she already has some favorite things. She loves her man pacifier. No, she doesn't have it at the moment. She has really taken to that teat. She likes the shape of that one. The other one she keeps spitting out, so she really loves the shape of the man. She also really loves her Embe Baby's wrap, which is really quite cool, because when I put her in the wrap, she seems to sleep so much more calmly, and she has less restless periods as well. So she obviously likes that feeling of being snuggled up. And what I like about the Embe is that it really keeps her in that position, because it does have like a Velcro fastener and has a little zip, so it specially kind of holds them in that swaddle position, whereas when you use a blanket to swaddle, often they kick their way out as well. Something I found quite interesting about Juliet is that she has a lot of hiccups. Now, when I was pregnant with her, I told everybody in the family, this kid has hiccups like all the time. It was, I could feel it in the womb. It was continuous, to a point where it almost became like annoying, because you're having this constant ick all the time. And now that she's born, nothing has changed. She has hiccups like 3 times a day. I don't know, I can never remember any of my other babies to have had hiccups so frequently as well. I mean, they've all had hiccups, but literally 3 times a day. Being such a cute and beautiful little girl, I'm having so much fun dressing her up. Every day I'll put on a different outfit, and we really do have some cute little snapshots that we've taken of her. And so as a result, it has inspired me to start her own Instagram, where I'm going to be doing Juliet's looks of the day. So I will leave a link down below if you'd like to follow that and see some of the cute outfits that she has been wearing. A lot of items have also been homemade by her clever Omar. Now that the first month is up, I think it can be quite a hard time for a lot of parents, especially if it's one of your firsts or even your second, because then you've got another child trying to adapt to the new siblings. So moms, be strong. It was also a very special time. There is some wonderful bonding moments there, and I've really enjoyed having Juliet around for 4 weeks. I can't believe it's already been 4 weeks. My heart feels quite sad that she's already 4 weeks into her beautiful life. Now it's a good time to subscribe, because I will be posting monthly updates of Juliet's development. Now, moms, remember that your child develops at their own rate. This is just our own personal experience and journey with our new little girl. If you haven't watched our birth vlog, you can check it up here. And then there's also an interesting video on a few days of my personal experience after having a cesarean section. That's over here too.